I've been to a few funerals in my time, but I never expected to be going to a funeral for free speech in Scotland, home of the Enlightenment, in Edinburgh, the Athens of the North.
It's fabulous to see so many of you on this unusual April Fool's Day. Can anybody tell me, did J.K. Rowling come along? The last time we came together here at Holyrood was to demonstrate against the gender reforms on the 12th of January 2023, just over a year ago. Thankfully, Nicola Sturgeon resigned as First Minister only 5 short weeks after our protests against ScotGov's GRR bill.
I'm the chairperson of the Scottish Union for Education. We set up a year ago with the strapline, education, not indoctrination. One of the first things we did was to produce a pamphlet explaining everything that was wrong about the promotion of transgender ideology in schools, and it is being promoted in schools. Subsequently, we found out that nursery schools were also helping to promote this ideology to 3- and 4-year-old children. Will our challenge to the government and the education authorities about their transgender indoctrination now be deemed a hate crime? Perhaps they will now go after J.K. Rowling for her tweets. If they do, we should all shout, "I am J.K. Rowling." But schools, egged on by councils like Edinburgh Council, for example, are ramping up their demand that hate be reported to the police. As a result, it is highly likely that children will face a visit from the police for calling each other names.
You know, it wasn't just the SNP. You've got the Greens, the Liberal Democrats, the Labour, they all voted for this. We need parties in the Parliament who are going to come into the Parliament and repeal this legislation. You have the opportunity to vote in the future for new parties, one of which is the Scottish Family Party. So I urge you to look closely at your alternatives.
The Scottish Parliament behind me was meant to give Scots a voice. Now they are trying to silence us. Humza Yousaf likes to paint himself as a progressive, but he's taking Scotland back to the dark ages of witch hunts. And just like witch hunts tended to target women, I believe women will be targeted by this pernicious hate crime bill. Scotland will no longer be able to call itself a democracy when free speech is dead and half the population has been silenced. I don't blame the police. I blame the SNP for politicising them. I blame Humza Yousaf. I blame Humza Yousaf for eroding our trust in the police and turning them into the thought police. I also blame Humza for creating division in Scottish society. This bill will set children against children, as we've already heard. Children against parents, friends against friends, colleagues against colleagues, with this Clype's charter of Humza's. We're not even safe from this horrible bill in our own homes. Although I tell you, if I invite somebody for dinner and then they dog me into the police, they'll not be getting another invite. But this is not my Scotland, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the Scotland I recognise. It's not the Scotland I grew up in. It's not the Scotland I want to see going forward. Humza's hate crime bill needs to get in the bin.